Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Just Talking with your host, Anonymous. And today's discussion is going to be marriage. Is it worth it? Are there benefits to marriage? How do you feel about marriage? I'm going to tell you how I feel about marriage. It might work for a very small group of people. They say in America, 55% of marriages fail within the first 5 years. You probably have a better chance of running a business or a restaurant or something like that. Either way, you won't be happy if you're a man. And the reason why I say that, I think that marriage is very beneficial for a woman in many ways, depending on the financial circumstance and the relationship that she has with the person she's marrying. Now, if you're a woman and say you're working at Starbucks, and you meet a man who's working in an IT profession, making 70, maybe $100K a year, and you're making maybe $25,000, $30,000 a year. You guys get into a relationship, you end up getting married, he throws the wedding that you're super excited about, that's gonna cost him a ton of money. Well, let me take that back. It'll cost you two a bunch of money, but we both know who's really gonna be paying for it. And so you have the wedding and everything's great, but then you've got a contractual obligation to make sure that this person is happy. So what happens when she's unhappy? What happens when she wants to leave? Now you're getting a divorce. You're paying for your attorney. You're paying for her attorney. And she is just destroying your life. You guys get divorced. You're paying alimony. And Lord forbid you're paying child support, which will be a whole other conversation. Now you're paying her half of your wages or more than half of your wages for the next 5 to 10 years. You're living in a 1-bedroom now. She's living in the house that you bought for the both of you. So I don't understand how marriage would be beneficial for a man. Very few cases where there's a divorce and the man gets the house and he's paid alimony. It almost never happens. So tell me, what makes marriage worth it? What makes it worth it for a man? You get to lock down one woman for the rest of your life. Maybe she's amazing. Maybe she's never going to leave you. But who knows? Very few people survive marriage and stay married for a substantial amount of time. Very few. But things can happen. Life changes. People change. People's needs change. And things happen. Maybe you're a husband and you step out on your wife because she decided that she doesn't want to give blowjobs anymore. And she doesn't have to. She's married. She already has you. And if you're unhappy and you want to leave, leave. But it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you greatly. Is it worth it? I'm a single guy, just turned 40. I decided that I don't want to date anyone seriously ever again. I want to enjoy my life, enjoy the things that I have, buy what I want, do what I want. And I'll be damned if I got married and divorced and lost everything that I've worked so hard for. And some would argue that that doesn't happen to everybody. But I guess you're safer if you're two poor people getting married. I think that might be the only way that divorce wouldn't hurt a man or a woman, I guess. But if you're in blue collar, working family, and you got something to lose, you're going to lose it. I think marriage gives women the ultimate control. I feel like once they get married, they might put on a lot of weight. They might stop giving you blowjobs, maybe for Christmas and on your birthday, if you're lucky. Maybe you'll be in a marriage where you want to fuck your wife. She says, hey, we can't do it tonight. Let's do it on Tuesday at 9, right before I do the laundry. You got 15 minutes. Maybe that's what happens in your relationship. But let's be fair. Maybe you're the husband and you're not putting it down anymore and she's unhappy. Maybe there's a young buck at work that she's been keeping her eye on. Yeah. Maybe you notice towards the end of this relationship that she decides that she all of a sudden wants to get in better shape. You know why? Because she's getting prepared for that divorce. She wants to be able to be in shape to get into the ring with someone else. But marriage, I don't think it's worth it. I'm never going to get married. I think that's a foolish thing to do. I think that I'm much more happier just being in a relationship, if that. And look at it this way. What keeps couples together before they're married? What is it that is the glue in their relationship that keeps them together? Maybe love, maybe, if you believe in that kind of thing. But there's consequences. If you cheat on your girlfriend, she's going to leave you. So you're probably not going to want to cheat. Your wife is not going to cheat because she doesn't want to get broken up with. But when you're married, it's a whole other ball game. You have so much more to lose. But at that point, you've already lost the battle. Marriage. I just don't think it's something that men should ever do. I think all you're doing is saying, hey, here's a contract. If I fuck up, take everything I have. 10 years into it, you haven't had sex in a year. It doesn't matter. If you want to have sex, you go creep out and fuck someone else. You just lost everything if you get caught. It's a contract saying that she doesn't have to do anything to make you happy anymore. And if you have a problem with it, you're going to lose everything. I just don't think that that's cool. I don't know how the gay relationships work, women marrying women, dudes marrying dudes. I don't know what happens in those situations. Maybe I'll do some research to see if they have the same type of divorces. But something tells me that their rate of happiness in marriage is much higher than straight people. Something just tells me that. I don't know. Maybe it's ignorance. I'll do some research. Maybe I'll do another podcast about it later. But marriage, is it worth it? Is it worth it for men? I think it's worth it for women. I'm just going to keep saying that because a woman, the numbers say that women make less than men and men make more than women. I think there's a reason for that. I think that they realize that when men get married, that they're going to lose all their money anyway. So they might as well have a leg up in income. Nah, I'm just joking. But for women, I think it's good for them. It just makes it to where it makes their relationship much more secure, that their man's not going to do X, Y, and Z. Maybe he does. But if he does, he suffers a great consequence. It's not like if you're in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, you fuck around on your partner, you get caught, they break up with you. That's it. That's it. If you have kids, then child support can be used as a weapon. But I'm going to use that term, or not term. I'm going to talk about that later on in a different episode because I'm going through that right now, and we'll talk about that later. Thank God I didn't get married. Oh no. But marriage is trickery. I just don't think it's worth it for men. I see why it would be worth it for women. They reap all the benefits. They get the wedding. If things go in a way that they don't like, they can just leave and take everything. They look around and say, we bought a house together. This is my house. We have kids. The kids are staying with me. You have a great job. I want half that money. And meanwhile, you're in a 1-bedroom apartment, struggling to get by, seeing your kids on the weekends. Kids telling you about the new boyfriend that's living in your house that you're paying for. It's a shame. But on the bright side, you could be smart and be divorced, live in your 1-bedroom, and bang out some young women. Maybe you've learned your lesson. Maybe you've said you'll never be in love, you'll never get married again. Maybe that'll teach you. But for me, I'm never getting married. I don't want to be in a serious relationship. I don't trust women. I never will trust them, just based on the history and things that I know about them and what I've gone through personally. I've never been in love. I don't know what that's like. Most people have told me that they've been in love aren't even dating that person anymore. So I'm going to do a audio about that too. Several subjects. But marriage, it is not worth it. It just is not. And I feel sorry for anyone who does get married because the day of reckoning will come soon enough. Thank you for listening to Just Talking with your host, Anonymous. Thank you for listening.